Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching, for subscribing, for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button down there. It really helps me out a lot. Now, in today's video, we're gonna be looking at the at the Sim X Pro. It's a scooter oriented for professionals because of we can tell it's oriented for professionals because of the luggage rack up front, the huge platform in the back capable of holding 40 kilograms of weight, and the general construction of it. It's built a little bit cheaper, so it's inexpensive to repair when the eventual courier drops the scooter on its side. But without further ado, let's get our helmets on and let's see what it's all about. Yep. So, as you can plainly see, it's pretty quiet now, isn't it? That's because this isn't the Sim X Pro. This is the Sim E X Pro. E, of course, standing for electric. This is, at least for the European market, Sim's first attempt at an electric scooter. So what is it all about? Well, let's take a look at it from front wheel to back wheel, as we usually do, and then we're gonna take it on a bit of a spin around the yard and see how it rides. It rides kind of like a normal scooter, and yet it's still very different than a normal scooter, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get into the front part. Now, up front we have 12-inch wheels with a 260mm front disc with a dual piston caliper, a high and low beam LED with this round circle illuminating as a daytime running light. We have a luggage rack, which is extremely sturdy. I don't have the weight rating for this, but oh wait, here it is, 8 kilograms, a maximum of 8 kilograms here up front. We have your normal turn indicators, halogen, mirrors. Let's go see the dash. In terms of dashboard, we have our speed, we have our battery, and we have our trip distance, our battery voltage, total kilometers, again, trip. We also have a small indicator light here that shows us when we need to charge the scooter. In terms of switch gear, normal Sim switch gear, high and low beam, passing light, indicators, horn, an eco and power mode. This if you want to get maximum range out of it, you set it in eco. It's limited to about 30 or 35 kilometers an hour, and the acceleration is a lot smoother, a lot slower, let's say. No two ways about it. Down here we have a USB charging port, quick charge capable, of course. And also here we don't fill it up with gas, but what we do have are two sockets. Now, why are there two sockets? We'll get to that. Also, a place to hang a bag. And let's go under the seat. So the under seat storage, pretty decent. And underneath here is the battery. Now this is why we have two sockets, because we currently have a single battery installed. It's a Panasonic battery, 22 amp hours, 60 volt battery. And right next to it, in the number 2 slot, there is room for another battery. Now the problem is, you have two sockets there because the batteries do not communicate. So the scooter can only run on the battery that's in this slot. This is just for charging the second battery and storing it. So if you're riding, when this battery runs out and you have a second one, you stop, you go under the seat, you pull it out, and you put the second battery in the number 1 slot. Now this is the battery. It has an LED indicator here to show the state of charge, and you can also see it on the dash. We put it back in. The thing is, the charger that comes with it, let's say you don't have a garage at home so you can plug the scooter in. You have this adapter, and you can charge your battery indoors. You can keep your charger in the house, and when you get home, you pull out your battery, you take it upstairs, and you charge your battery in the house. Otherwise, the under seat storage is pretty decent. I don't think you can fit a helmet inside, but you know what? For science. Let's see if we can, I don't know, like this. No. Something like this. Yeah, you can fit a helmet, a jet-sized helmet under the seat. But I still prefer the D-Link for scooters that have it. Just put the helmet on the side and forget about it. Now in the rear we have a luggage platform. You can put up to 40 kilograms on this, so 40 kilograms in the back, 8 kilograms in the front, a total of 48 kilograms payload. Twin shocks, which is rare for scooters made for 50cc, because this is the equivalent of a 50cc scooter. You can drive it on the regular car license. Rear disc brake, again twin piston caliper, and a Bosch 2000 watt hub motor. Also rear light, rear indicators, mud guard, and that's about it here in the back. So you might be asking yourself, who is this scooter for and what is the range? Well, the range isn't really not that impressive. It's on a single battery up to 40 kilometers on eco mode. On normal mode, somewhere between 30 and 35 kilometers, to be honest. Now you may be thinking that's really not a lot of range, but you can have two batteries, so you can get that range up to about 70 kilometers. And if you use it the way it's intended it to be used, either just normal people, stuff around the city, rarely go above 70 kilometers in a day. Normal people do 10-15 kilometers, so they're pretty fine on a single battery. And also small businesses, if you have a small restaurant, a small flower shop, something like that, where you want to have a rider for delivery around the city, that you receive an order, you make the order, and the rider just goes out, delivers it, comes right back, and then spends another 15-20 minutes in your restaurant waiting for the next order. In that time, they can plug the scooter back in, or they can always have extra batteries charged and ready to go, so they can do a couple of hours of work, do 30-40 kilometers, come back, switch out the battery, leave the discharged one on the charger, and continue their work day. For someone like me that rides constantly around the city, I don't have a restaurant, I don't have a headquarters I go back to after every order, after every delivery. This is not a good scooter for me. But for people that do, that go to a destination, come back to the same place, this is perfect. And so what are the advantages compared to a normal petrol scooter? Well, the obvious. You don't have an engine. You don't have to change oil. You don't have to change filters. You don't have to take it every 2,000 kilometers to get serviced. Basically, the only thing you changed on this scooter is the brake pads. That's it. Only the brake pads. Otherwise, just electricity and you're on the road. So it's a very maintenance-free scooter, really good for startup businesses, because they don't want, if they want to invest in a scooter and in delivery, they don't want the added costs of maintaining that scooter. If the deliveries go well and the scooter covers distances, they will start having maintenance issues. They will start having to take it in to change the oil, to change belts, to change rollers. A lot of things that on scooters used for delivery get worn out really fast. But let's get out around the yard and see how it is to ride an electric scooter. Come on, let's go. Alrighty. Let's see the starting procedure. So ignition, dash lights up. We have a ready light. No button to press to start the engine. We're in eco mode currently. So it says ready. Perfectly silent. Twist. And off we go. You know, normally I'm not a fan of electric two-wheel vehicles, because a two-wheel vehicle, something like a motorcycle or a maxi scooter or something like that, they're supposed to have some added fun. And the engine is a charismatic part of a scooter or a motorcycle, and it's taking that away and making it perfectly silent really takes some of the fun and joy of being on two wheels. But then again, considering this is made for professional use and not to have fun with, pretty darn good. Actually, the silence makes it extremely relaxing, and when you have to ride, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 hours a day delivering through the city, it's actually pretty nice to have something so quiet. Let's switch it to power. And considering it's supposed to be a replica of a 50cc, it really does get up and go. Now, that's no surprise, because electric motors really have all their torque from 0 RPM, and this is no different. It's a 2000 watt motor with around 550 newton-meters of torque. So if you have it in power mode, you can easily get up to speed. Now, it's a little bit bumpy here, so I won't give it a beans just yet. Let's get on this straight bit to the left. Let's open it up. There we go. 30, 40, 42, 45, and that's the maximum speed. Actually, for scooters that are 50cc compliant, it makes a lot more sense to go electric, because you don't have a small little engine trying to put out its 3 little horsepower at 8,000 RPM every single day. And this electric motor basically shouldn't have any problems lasting tens of thousands of kilometers, because it's an electric motor. This is what it does. Really nice to ride, especially with it being this quiet. You don't have the vibrations of a little 50cc engine buzzing away under your ass. Just quiet power, getting the job done. And I do think the way it feels, I think it has a little bit of regen braking, which is nice. Let's get in the shade so the GoPro doesn't overheat again. So this is it, the Sim E X Pro, Electric X Pro. Now we can see the daytime running light better with the low beam LED. So if you're a small business and this scooter fits your bill, you're wondering between a 50cc or an electric, honestly I would go electric. If your business model allows for it, I would go electric, because there's basically zero maintenance apart from tires and brake pads. That's all you need, and maybe some light bulbs, indicator light bulbs, I don't know, something like that. That's all you need, brake pads and tires, and it's ready to go. So if your business model allows for couriers to go deliver and then come back to a certain headquarters, restaurant, flower shop, whatever it is, your business, if the model allows for it, do consider electric scooters. They're easy to ride, they're very quiet, they're eco-friendly, even though it's actually even not that more expensive than a 50cc. This one with 2 batteries is 3,200 euros. With a single battery is 2,700 euros. A 50cc Symphony ST, for example, is 2,600 euros. So if your courier doesn't have a trip longer than 30-35 kilometers and back to the destination and back, you could actually get it with a single battery. Charge time is around 4 hours from completely depleted to a full battery. So charge time is for about 4 hours. You can actually get a fleet of these and have a few extra batteries constantly charged, and your couriers going and coming and swapping out batteries as they run out of juice. Think about it. If you have a small business, this may be the future. But until the future properly comes and we all get on electric vehicles, because I think this is the direction we're unfortunately heading. I say unfortunately because I do like my petrol powered engines. Until the future and until next time, thank you so very much for watching, for liking the videos, for subscribing. And if you haven't already, and if you're new to the channel, check out all of my other reviews, my tours, my how-to videos, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more and if you like the content. Until next time, take care out there and ride safe.